What's up guys, Wolf here. Welcome to another Remnant 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase arguably the best damage build in the game. I've got some tricks that allow you to hit just under 10,000 DPS with this setup. Now, I'm going to be utilizing a bow called the Sagittarius. I recommend using bows with this high crit damage build because we get extra bonus damage to weak spots. The whole focus around the setup is trying to hit weak spots. Now you can use whatever gun you want or whatever bow you want, but I do recommend giving bows a try, especially the Sagittarius. It has the mod called Starfall, which is really good. So with this bow, I can hit just under 5,000 damage a shot, considering I only have +8. I think we could one-shot almost all the elites in the highest difficulty of the game, because I am 1 to 2 shotting all of them already, and I have nowhere near min-maxed this build. So I recommend you guys give this setup a try. It's not the easiest build to use, but it's very rewarding. When you hit those weak spots, you hit high damage numbers, and you can chunk enemies down very quickly and efficiently, especially bosses that have weak spots. I think there's only 2 bosses in the game which don't have weak spots, but you can still melt them even if you're not hitting weak spots. But to get that extra damage, I recommend going for it. Each enemy has its own weak spot, so just make sure you look for that and you'll see the numbers go up. So how or why is my health not going above 50%? That's because I have got the Vengeance Idol. This is how I'm able to get so much damage. The Vengeance Idol is an amulet that increases all damage dealt by 30% when the wearer's health is below 50%. Huge amounts. 30% is very high. So how am I keeping my health that low or at that level? Restricts the wearer from healing above 50% of their max health and reduces all incoming damage by 15%. That is a ring that gives you that buff called the Restriction Cord. The Restriction Cord will stop us from healing above 50% and also reduces all our incoming damage by 15%, which is really nice. That's how I'm able to make use of that huge damage buff from the Vengeance Idol. This build is quite easy to set up. You just need to make use of Hunter and Gunslinger. Huge amounts of crit damage. Get up close and make use of the Hunter's Shroud. Up to 50% damage. Once you get that Hunter's Shroud procced and mark enemies, the ambush will give you that huge damage number. So also we're going to be making use of Bullet Storm, which is great because instead of becoming fully automatic, bows and crossbows gain 15% crit chance and 50% projectile speed. This setup can work in any kind of biome, and I recommend you give it a try if you want to do as much damage as you can in the game. Let's take a look at the setup in detail. You can use whatever armor pieces you would like. I would recommend staying in the green because we want to try and evade and make use of our lightweight and kind of move around a bit more effectively because we are going to be quite squishy. I have got the Dragon Heart. You can use whatever relic you want. The Crystal Heart's great, any of the other options. Make sure you guys put ranged crit chance, damage, and ranged damage. Those 3 are going to be perfect. Then the archetypes. Quite simple. We're going to be using in our prime perk slot the Hunter, which is great because dealing 55 base ranged weak spot damage extends the duration of active Hunter skills by 3.5 seconds. That's huge. Can extend timer beyond its initial duration. Very good, especially when in combination with Hunter's Shroud. So once you become shrouded, you need to apply a mark. So we need to, once we exit the shroud by aiming or shooting, it will apply a mark to all enemies within 10 meters and grants ambush. Ambush increased range damage by 50%. So this is how I'm able to get all of that damage, and we can keep it up because it's on the prime perk. Very good. Now you can use Hunter's Focus or Hunter's Mark. It's up to you, but try Shroud. It's just really good and the utility is great. All of these perks work perfectly between the 2 archetypes. And I think Gunslinger is very good. And the reason being is because we get Bullet Storm. You guys know how this works by now. Very powerful. But remember, the bows are slightly different. So we get crit chance and increased projectile speed when we're using a bow. Then let's take a look at the weapon. Sagittarius is so nice, and I recommend using the Mutator Battery. Ranged hits increase the next weak spot hit by 10% per stack, max 5 stacks. If you can get this stacked up, that is going to elevate your damage astronomically. Very nice, very powerful. Give this bow a try. I recommend it, guys. If you guys want to use any other bow or weapon you want, you can do that, but try and use bows like I mentioned earlier. Smolder as my melee. then the silverback with harmonizer and hotshot as my mod. Then the traits, have a look here. You guys can see nothing really to mention. It kind of makes sense why I'm using all of this, but I would spec into untouchable. Increases evade window by 21%. I think increasing the evade window is very, very important, especially because if we get hit once, we die. I found this to be very handy, but it's up to you. Health, make sure that is maxed out. Spirit and expertise, because we want to get back our juicy skills. Then endurance, max stamina, and then recovery. It's up to you what you use here. So the Vengeance Idol, very good, high damage, but we need to have our health below 50%. Sometimes when you die or get resurrected, you're going to have to re-equip this ring. So take it off, put it back on, re-equip it, and then it'll bring your health back to 50. Otherwise, it doesn't do it automatically when you respawn or you fast travel. So to do that, you guys are going to need the restriction cord to make sure you stay at the 50 and below. Then I've gone for the Ring of Flawed Beauty. Range weak spot damage is increased by 25%. Range damage is reduced by 15 when failing to hit a weak spot. So that's a big buff, 25%. I think you will probably need this if you wanted to do all the damage that you're seeing in the gameplay clips. Then I've got the Amber Moonstone. You can use something else here if you would like. When health drops below 30%, all incoming damage is reduced by 25, and wearer becomes immune to temporary status effects. This saves me a lot of the time, especially if you're playing on the highest difficulty, which this build is designed for. I recommend giving it a try if you're struggling to survive or you're getting one-shotted. Then the Braided Thorns. After killing an enemy, gain 15% increased crit chance. All that damage, range damage, we need some chance to actually be able to crit. So it makes sense. You can use whatever you want though. That's the setup, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is so much fun to use. So much damage per shot. You can absolutely destroy enemies in the most difficult parts of the game and on the highest difficulty. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Peace out.